Another reason for the low cost is the absence of USB 3.0. That was a bit disappointing, but I can live with it. I'm still puzzled by why everything was so cheap. Initially thought it might be due to a faulty power supply. Perhaps the PSU had damaged the hard drives, for instance. And without even checking the 12-volt and 5-volt rails with a multimeter, I eagerly connected my SSD and graphics card to the SATA power connector, even though the multimeter was right under my nose. I think my laziness won't lead me to any good. But unfortunately, nothing got fried. After checking the 5-volt and 12-volt lines with the multimeter, I was sure that the PSU was fine because the voltage on both rails was within the normal range. Under load, the 12-volt rail dropped slightly to 11.9 volts, which is still within the acceptable range. However, when both the GPU and CPU are under load, the drop is a bit more, down to 11.8 volts. This is also acceptable, but there's a catch. With the GPU and CPU consuming around 210 to 220 watts, the connector and power cable to the GPU were just warm. But the connector to the motherboard was hot, which isn't good. When I reduced the GPU's power consumption to 110 watts, the motherboard connector became just warm, and the GPU power connector was almost cold. This suggests that the heating occurs exponentially. 110 watts is fine, but 145 watts is too much. I can explain this. The lower the voltage on the 12-volt rail, the greater the heating of the wires because the current increases. This happens when the voltage drops, but the power consumption remains the same. Therefore, it's not advisable to connect a powerful graphics card to a weak PSU using adapters. And if you do, the load shouldn't be high. That's why I reduced the GPU's power consumption to ensure it doesn't exceed 110 watts in games. The card didn't lose much performance, maybe about 5 to 7%. Thanks to reducing the power consumption by 40 watts, the graphics card now operates more efficiently. In my case, the wires and connectors are barely warm when the GPU consumes no more than 110 watts.